All right, we are back. BDLD, the responsible bet, Wildcard Weekend edition. It's been a minute, guys. I've been gone. I was on winter vacation, traveling the world. It's been hard to keep up with the show, but I was keeping up with my bets. Making some decent plays here and there. But I'm excited for a Wildcard Weekend. It's nice because I don't have to stress out about the Seahawks. I know Dallon is the same boat. Epic collapse by the Indianapolis Colts. Kyle was almost in the same boat, but the Niners managed to eke it out barely.
That was a great game.
That wouldn't have been an epic collapse, though.
I guess
That
not, but just more like a waste of a season, you could say, with Trey Lance. But anyway,
I don't want him playing this year.
how are we doing? Kyle at Kylie Kaika at Diona. You guys ready to talk wild card?
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah,
it's gonna
let's
be
do it, man.
It's gonna be a great
It's gonna be
slate.
It is gonna be a great weekend. Can't lie.
Hey, what are they calling it? Like
Hashtag one last ride.
super wild card weekend?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we gotta
Yep.
dive in. We gotta dive into
A
Kyle's
Monday night game for the first time.
ice cold desires of wanting the Steelers in the playoffs, which is just so cringe, man. It's gonna be the worst game of the weekend, and of course they put it Sunday night, but whatever.
Oh, it's perfect. Get to do something Sunday night that you don't need to watch.
True. I
But
can
I'll
catch
be
up on
watching
some
for
work.
one last ride.
I can catch up on some work. I want to
before he
see.
goes
I want to see.
into the ball.
I want to see Patrick Mahomes throw some dropped interceptions, though, because that's gonna come. All right. Well, let's not waste time though. Let's dive in. Raiders at Bengals. That is the first game on the Saturday slate. I believe this is on NBC, right? NBC or Fox or CBS? Maybe CBS.
You
1:30.
just named all three of them there, buddy.
I think it's CBS. 1:30
Yeah, one of
p.m.
them's got a hit.
Bengals are giving 5 at home, over under 48.5. Who wants to dive in
Can
here?
confirm it's on NBC. By the way,
NBC? Yeah, I think we got Drew Brees and Tarico. Huh?
I have no idea. I'm just looking at the ESPN app right now.
All right, who wants to dive in? Who's got a pick?
Raiders +5. I just think that I was on the Raiders early in the season. They came out the gates hot. Then they got a little shaky, but they've picked it back up recently. Their D-line looks really good. I think that's going to be the key. Not giving up any explosive plays to Jamar Chase or T. Higgins, those guys. I think if they're able to run the ball a little bit and slow it down, it'll be more in their favor. Hopefully get a few more looks at Darren Waller. I don't know how many games he's played since he came back from injury, but he hasn't been as productive as he were to start the season. That's for sure. They need to get him going. Hunter Renfrow, obviously, but I think they can hang tight in there. I think it'll be a good game.
All right, so what's your prediction? Do you think the Raiders cover, or do you think the Raiders outright win?
I would love for a Raiders outright win because I just like this team, but I think they cover. I think the Bengals win. That would be tough.
How about you, Dallon?
I was looking at the +5 as well, but I think maybe the more intriguing line is +3.5 here. I might just see the Bengals playing with a sense of first half. Sorry, what am I saying? Yeah, just playing with a sense of urgency in the second half, maybe pulling away a little bit. I think they set this line at +5, maybe little garbage time touchdown for the Raiders if they're down big. So people are scared of that as well. I don't know. Anyway, I'm a big fan of Derek Carr. I always want to see that guy succeed. Don't ask me why. He's just a likable quarterback.
Same.
And Max Crosby.
That reminds me of Kyle and Ben. At least yours is a good take, though.
Absolute legend, Max Crosby, battling demons. Him and Darren Waller, always got to root for those guys as well. I do think Waller has a better matchup here than the Chargers were a good matchup considering how bad their fucking defense is, but I think he has a good matchup as well here against the Bengals, and I think that he gets back on track a little bit. He's going to come out hungry, hopefully, and I think the Raiders do cover the first half spread. That's going to be my play at +3.5.
Yeah, I
Nice.
think you got a good read on that. Just because Zach Taylor has loved to run the ball, loved to play the slow game for most of the season. He did kind of unlock it in the last 2 games against KC and what was the last team they played? Oh,
The
KC
Raiders?
and the Ravens. KC and the Ravens.
Oh.
No, I'm talking about the Bengals. The Bengals offense
Oh.
has been uh, a lot of running, not a lot of passing until the last couple games, and I think that kind of plays into what you're saying, Dallon. But I'm also going Raiders +5 here. I just think the Raiders have overcome a lot of adversity this year, tons of adversity, and I think the strength of their team is in their corners. Hobbs and Hayward have been outstanding for them. And then it might help them shut down Chase, Higgins, who have been most of their offense this year. Not to mention, obviously, Max Crosby could dominate the right tackle of the Bengals. The right side of their line is pretty weak compared to the left side of their line. And Joe Burrow, he takes a lot of sacks, man. I think he's leading the league in sacks this year. I think that's his biggest flaw. Is he sits in the pocket a little bit too much. He won't throw the ball away, and that could lead to, stalled and shortened drives, which would keep the score low and get the Raiders to cover here.
I still think that's more on his offensive line than it is on him, to be honest. But that does help the Raiders. But I just think it's more on the offensive line.
Yeah, either way, sacked by the
Kai, I
line,
see-
sacked by him.
I see a little blurb here that says first-year head coach. Could you explain what that means regarding the Raiders and their cover chance?
Yeah, that's not great for the Raiders, obviously. But I think
Dude,
I think
I
both
think
these
they love
teams.
this guy.
I think this guy. So I think here's what I'm thinking, right? So
Tapia is sick.
he's got nothing to lose, right? He's already basically come out and said that he's not keeping the job. He's not going to be the next head coach of the Raiders. Zach Taylor, this is his first playoff game. I could see that guy just crumbling, and
They have weapons, though.
they do have
More
weapons.
weapons than the Raiders.
I'm more
Joe's
worried
too
about
cool, man.
I'm more worried about Taylor than Bisacci or whatever, Biscotti,
Satya.
because I just
Rick.
prefer. I don't think Zach Taylor
him
really
around
is
around.
that great of a coach, but maybe he'll grow. Maybe we'll see. But Raiders +5, man.
I like the Raiders. I think they rally around Rick. He's a likable guy, as from what I've been watching and listening to.
Maybe Joe Shiesty goes absolutely nuclear, though.
I think
That's
Joe
the
is
problem.
just Joe doesn't crack, he's cool under pressure. He's been in
true.
these situations, and he's just a very calm, collected guy, and I like that. But go Raiders.
Hey, Joe has been going off, so maybe this is when he comes
BBLD
down to earth. Maybe if the playoff pressure gets to him, you never know.
I mean, I feel like realistically, I feel like most quarterbacks could have made that throw, or like the top half of the NFL quarterbacks could have made those throws to T. Higgins and Jamar Chase because they're just that good, as wide receivers.
There's a lot of separation there.
Do
Yeah.
you think Carson Wentz could really make that throw?
Well, I'm not saying Carson Wentz is
talking
top
about
You're right.
half of
you're
the
right.
NFL.
talk about week 6 through 10. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's
Outside of that?
starting at 5 yards under, and then maybe Jamar Chase makes a play. That's what's
Hey.
up.
Dude, that's an underrated skill. The underthrow PI, that's one of the best throws in football.
Yeah, I just want to remind you guys, Jaguars also shut down the Bills, So, just want to say that wasn't all Carson Wentz's fault. He's a very bad quarterback. Sometimes he makes some stupid-ass plays, but, I could see us rolling with him one more year. Who knows? Frank Reich, though, I don't know about that coaching, but we'll see. We'll see
All right.
moving forward.
Well,
All right,
let's move
moving on.
That was a
Moving on.
BDLD sweep across the board. Raiders
Interesting.
+5.
That hardly happens.
So we need to see the stats on those, but let's start keeping track of if we got a sweep, a unanimous decision.
Well, usually what happens is we call a sweep, and then Dallon on Twitter, you see the opposite pick. So that's usually what happens.
I mean, that's just the
That's
standard
true.
play.
That's true.
It's more just like an empty promise,
Talk about killing the vibes, but all right. Next, Pats Bills, probably one of the more interesting matchups.
Round 3.
Bills,
Round 3.
Bills -4 in the third round matchup. Over under 44. Dallin, you got anything for this one?
Yeah, I thought about this one for a good amount as we were going through that Raiders and Bengals little spiel there.
No.
I
Dallon's
actually
always
do
looking
like.
ahead.
I'm always looking ahead. Hey, listen, I like the Bills -4 here. I think Bills Mafia comes out big. They get loud. They're absolutely jumping on tables during the tailgate. They're gonna come in drunk as fuck, mad at the Patriots. You know, maybe get in their heads a little bit. I just think the Bills just look like the much superior team in that second matchup. Pat's made a little bit of some garbage time run there to keep it close, but I do think the Bills just dominated that game through and through, and I think this honestly might happen again at Bills Stadium. So I do like Bills -4 here, and that's going to be my pick for this game.
Nice. Big dog.
Yeah, man. I gotta go. I can't pick a side here because I'm scared about Josh Allen, but I'm gonna go over 44 here. And I think we look at the last game, the total went to 54, I believe. In the previous game, we can kind of throw that out because of how bad the winds were and the weather. Now, so the weather's looking to be very cold. I believe it's single digits, but no precipitation, so that doesn't really affect scoring. I mean, you can look at Packers-Vikings a couple weeks ago. Packers dropped 37, and it was similar weather conditions. I just think this total is a little low for both these teams. My biggest concern and why I don't like the Bills here is just I'm not a believer in Josh Allen in the playoffs. I can't get that game 2 years ago against, what was it, the Colts, right? God, that was ugly. I don't know what he was trying to do.
He beat the Colts last year.
Yeah, and that was very close. The Colts probably should have won that game. Wouldn't you agree?
I mean, probably.
I mean, I have the receipts. I'm not a believer in Josh Allen in the playoffs. I still think he's just a little too boneheaded and makes some bad plays. And I think the Chiefs game last year, they kind of got handled, blown out. He did not play well. So that's my biggest worry. But that's why I'm laying off the game. I think the over 44 here is pretty good. I think, Josh McDaniels will pull out all the tricks. Anything he can do to get to score here, it's going to be some crazy trick plays, I guarantee. Just to keep up with the Bills, and I think this goes over, but we'll see.
I actually have a question, Akai. Do you think that the Patriots might come in with the same game plan they did last time they played at Bills Stadium?
That's what I'm wondering.
Force the ball down their throat, and it just goes under by a significant margin because of that? They're just running the ball 24/7.
I mean, the thing about that is they could try, but if they can't put the ball into the end zone, and the Bills are, then they're going to get knocked out of that. Who knows, though?
That's the thing, though. Going to my pick, I got Patriots +4. I'm not low on Josh Allen like you are, but I do think there's moments where he just crumbles, and you could totally see him coming in here and just not doing well, throwing like 3 or 4 picks. And then on the other side, I think that the Patriots do go back to the run. They try to establish that, and if they get going, it's going to be tough for the Bills defense to stay out there continuously trying to stop the run. And I think poised pocket passer that will be able to deliver when they need him to. I don't think Belichick's going to be asking him to do too much. I think even if they're not running the ball particularly well, they're still going to stick with it. Just like the first game, they passed it twice the whole game. I don't think Bill's gonna get out of his comfort zone, if you will. So I like the Patriots +4 here. But to your point of the over, I don't think weather is gonna be a factor. Like, people will put it on because it's so cold, and like you said, there's no like precipitation. There's no gonna be rain or snow, whatever. But I don't know if that's gonna necessarily make it that the over is going to be the good play.
I also want to say, because Dallon asked me about them running the ball. If they're running the ball successfully, they're going to score, right? So like it might not drain as much clock because the Bills aren't going to run the ball every play. We saw that even when the weather was terrible, they still tried to pass.
Not at all.
And so that's not good. I mean, that is good for the over. That's good. It's not going to kill the clock as much. So either the Patriots run successfully
even if they're not running
and
well,
they can score, and if they don't run successfully, then they're probably going to fall behind. So,
I just think the Patriots are just going to keep running it, and like I think the Bills will come expecting a more heavy run heavy offense, and I don't think they're going to necessarily like be running all down their throat. It's just going to be like long, sustained drives, and that's what's going to keep the time of possession away from the Bills. And I do agree, the Bills are definitely going to pass the ball. They might run it like 15 times the whole game.
Okay, what about over/under on receiver passes? I think we're going to see
receiver passes.
At least, I think the line got to be at least 1.5 for the Patriots.
I'm going to go under.
How many playoff games have we seen them bust out those trick plays, dude? It feels like every important game.
If you're thinking the Patriots are going to need to be busting out all these trick plays to try and keep up, how do you think that the over?
I don't think they're going to need to. I think they are just going to. Like, that's just what they're going to do.
Oh.
I think Josh McDaniel is a little he loves to play those games, man.
Oh, so you think
he's going to get
which side do you think
crafty.
Going to be playing trick plays, the Patriots or both?
I think Josh McDaniel loves his trick plays, and I think he saves some of his goodies for the playoffs. And he knows Mac Jones, is not gonna do great this game. Bills have a good defense.
I could see one with like they run the ball, and then they do like a little reverse and they throw it.
They do like a flea flicker reverse.
More than one. Flea flicker reverse?
Maybe they do a flea flicker, throw it out to the receiver throws it downfield. I don't know, man. I think it's coming. I think we should do a personal bet right there.
I say under 1.5. I'll say 1 hits.
Yeah, 1.5 is a lot for a receiver pass. You can do other trick plays.
I think you have to go 0.5, but if you want to say that 1.5, I'm going under.
Such a bizarre question, then, to begin with. I just don't know where that came from.
Well, let's move on.
All right, just wait till we watch that game.
Okay.
All right, Eagles at Buccaneers, 1:00 p.m. Eastern. Oh, that's early.
Yeah.
So 10 o'clock
the standard
Pacific
games,
time.
that's why.
Oh yeah, you're right. Buccaneers are laying 9.5 at home. Over under set at 46. Give me the thoughts.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
Eagles money line?
No, no. So that's sad that it's 9.5 because I actually got them at 8.5. But I just think I saw a stat. The Eagles' fourth quarter scoring I think is like top 10 in the league, and Jalen Hurts, if you play fantasy, he is
garbage time.
one of the best fantasy quarterbacks because in the fourth quarter I think he averages by far the most points per game in the fourth quarter by any quarterback. And he averages, I think he's like, is he top 3 still in fantasy? Did he finish the season? He is just the ultimate garbage time touchdown maker. And I don't know, without Fournette and without Godwin and AB, I think the Bucs will struggle a little bit. Mike Evans isn't the big-time explosive player, and I don't think Ronald Jones is nearly as good a running back as Fournette.
Evans is also banged up, too.
I think they'll win pretty easily, but I just think that the Eagles will be able to move the ball a little bit, and then Hurts is just going to do his garbage time magic. So plus 9.5, give me that.
Yeah, I'll go next since I also had the same play. Eagles plus 9.5. To me, the Buccaneers just without Brown, without AB, the hurt Evans. I just said Brown and AB. Without Brown and Godwin and Fournette.
Yeah, I caught that.
Without those guys, like I can see the Buccaneers struggling on offense, struggling trying to push the ball down the field, trying to be explosive. And the Eagles' defense has actually been surprisingly playing better. I mean, we could throw out last game because their backups were playing, but they've done a good job at holding teams down. Just being solid. They don't do anything flashy, but they're just solid. Their back end has really come together with Slay and Anthony Harris playing well, and of course they have a good D line. Javon Hargraves is one of the best interior players this year, and guys like Josh Sweat and Barnett are playing well too. So I think it just sets up for kind of a grinder of a game. The Eagles' O-line is also one of the best in the league. They can run the ball pretty much at will. I think they've had the best open lanes in the league. I think it's like their yards before contact per carry is by far the best in the league. They have creative and good scheme there, and that starts with Jalen Hurts. So 9.5, give me 9.5 points, man. We saw the Buccaneers struggle with Taylor Heineke last year. They could do it again. And this team is probably not as good.
Yep. Not as good. I have an asterisk next to my pick, though. If Miles Sanders gets over 10.5 touches, then I vacate my pick. 'Cause that shouldn't count.
Dude, Miles Sanders, I bet the record when Miles Sanders got over 10.5 touches is actually good. Because he does not get enough touches, man.
Alright, Dallon, what do you got?
I really want to bet Buccaneers minus 9.5 here because I think they're just so dominant at home. Aside from that Saints game, of course, that was just the most bizarre game I've ever seen. But they are super dominant at home, especially against mediocre competition, which I do feel the Eagles are. Really shouldn't be in the playoffs, in my opinion. But they had the record to do it, so I just don't like the Eagles, man. But I can definitely see the Eagles covering in garbage time, like Kyle said. So I'm just going to stay away from this game. No play for me.
Very well.
I respect it. I respect it.
Rude.
What do we think about the odds the Eagles win this game?
Pretty low.
Let's see what ESPN.
Dude, I don't think it's gonna be enough to change the outcome of the game that they're missing like Godwin, AB, and Fournette.
Dude, that's a lot. That's a lot.
I just think their
to be
game
missing.
is gonna slow down a little.
Like those are their two top receivers. Evans is third, man.
Who was that guy that came in though? He's been balling the past couple weeks.
That guy doesn't even know how to play football, dude.
Yeah, and he's a baller. Every week he gets better.
We'll see in the playoffs. We'll see when Darius Slay locks up Mike Evans, and then
I think low-key,
who does he have to throw to, man? Who is Tom Brady going to throw to? Gronk?
Mike Evans.
I just said Darius Slay is going to lock him up, dude. Darius Slay is had a comeback season. Darius Slay is had a. We got Anthony Harris on Gronk.
They have Rashad Perriman too, though.
I just think that
legend.
Brady's gonna be like 23 for 27 with like 257 yards and
That's true.
3 TDs.
He's gonna. I think that's what the Eagles play. I think that's how they play their defense. They give up those short passes, easy completions.
And I think that's what the Bucs' plan's gonna be.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see how the Eagles run the ball against the Buccaneers because the Eagles have had so much success this year. Miles Sanders is averaging like 5.6 yards per carry. True, that's true.
But he didn't play last week, so it'll be about as good as it could be. So, it'll be interesting. I think under might be a sneak play. I might add that later, but we'll see. Was that 46 right now? Yeah. All right. Sunday afternoon game. Big one.
This got to be America's game of the week, huh?
Big one. Long-time rivalry dating back to the early days. 49ers at the Cowboys in Jerry World. Cowboys laying 3, over under 50.5.
50.5.
I came out wanting the Rams initially just because Sean McVay is Kyle Shanahan's little bitch. But after seeing some stats and some things about the Cowboys defense, I'm liking this matchup more and more. I will say I didn't want initially because of Cooper and CD and Dak, just because our corner's been getting absolutely torched. But with the return of Emmanuel Mosley and getting Josh Norman, like that cancer, out of the lineup, it'll be a huge help. Potentially getting back K1 and Jaquaski, so that'd be huge. The healthiest since the start of the season we've ever been in the secondary. And I'm gonna pull up some stats, but I'm gonna let you guys talk through this a little bit first. Tross, what do you got on this? I know you're on the opposite.
Yeah, I think I would take Cowboys minus 2.5 here, but unfortunately the line is currently 3, so I'm gonna have Cowboys money line. I don't know what the odds are. Maybe I'll take the points depending on where it finishes.
Have you ever bet on the Niners or been on their side?
I did, yeah. I think there was a game. There was a game.
There was a game. Okay.
Well, how are they even against the spread this year? I'm curious. I bet it's not great.
Not great.
Anyway, I mean, for me, the choice is easy. I did a survey the other day on like my playoff predictions, and it said to give 3 reasons why you pick, one of the wildcard teams to win. And for me, it was easy for the Cowboys. It was Dak, CD, Cooper, as you mentioned. I think that's just a huge.
Now 3 reasons.
I think that's just a huge mismatch for the Niners. And there are some stats I read. I believe probably one of the biggest homers, blind love for the Niners guy, David Lombardi. He posted a stat about.
Oh yeah, I'll pull up his stats later.
No, but he posted a stat about how the Niners were super good at covering like 1 to 5, 7 to 6 to 10 yard or passes, and then like anything 15 plus or 10 plus, they're like 32nd or 31st in the league. So I just think that's prime opportunity for the Cowboys to take advantage. And the Cowboys have a good offensive line, so I'm not so worried about the Niners pass rush as I usually am. They're supposed to be healthy this game. I think if the Cowboys can control the pass rush, they're going to do well against this Niners defense. And then the flip side of that, their defense, Dallas's defense has been extremely boomer bust. I'm not sold on them at all, but they do make big plays. And I think Jimmy is the perfect complement to that because he does make 1 or 2 mistakes per game. At least we even saw that against the Rams. So if they can capitalize, if they can get the ball back on their side of the field and score, that could be the difference in this game. And for the 49ers, I think the way they win this game is controlling the ball through the run. Obviously, that's what they're trying to do every time. But for me, I'm taking the better quarterback, better quarterback, better offense, basically, in this game.
All right. Dallon, what do you got?
I think it's close, though. I think it's close. I'll say that. That's why I took a money line.
All right, well, this might be a really square pick for me, but I like the first half over. I was looking at the numbers here. It's at 24.5 right now, which I don't know if I like as much. It originally opened at 24. I like 24 more because you can get that push on 14-10 at half. The Niners are generally not a great first half team, but the Cowboys defense, although they have been looking pretty decent against subpar competition recently, they're not the greatest. They give some big ass plays a lot, and the Niners are very explosive, especially Debo. As long as he's not exhausted as he was in the ends of that Rams game last week. I actually do like the over 24. Maybe buy it at 24.5. We'll see. Cowboys are actually first in the NFL in first half points per game this season at 16.2. Niners pretty middle of the road there. So actually, I do like it here. That's going to be my play.
One thing to add to that, Niners aren't the best. Like, they don't score a lot in the first half, like you said, but I think if you look at like first drive, like scoring percentage, they're actually like a top like 10, maybe 5 team, just because Kyle Shanahan like has a very scripted start to the game. But
what are your thoughts on the game, though, Dallon? I want to hear real quick. You just gave
my thoughts on the game.
Yeah, let's hear your thoughts.
Well, it's interesting to me because I think the Niners are probably the better pick from a spread standpoint. Because
I agree.
Truthfully, if it wasn't for the quarterback play, I would probably say that the Niners are the better team right now. Deebo Samuel, the running game looks especially good. The O-line looks pretty damn good as well. It's just Jimmy G just makes, as you said, too many mistakes. Are you talking about from who's going to win standpoint, Akahi? Or are you talking about
well, what's your prediction? Who's going to win? You didn't even make a pick.
You think scoring? That's his pick.
Yeah, I mean, I like the over, but I mean, I think the Cowboys do have the talent edge in terms of quarterback play, and I'm going to bet on the team with the better quarterback, so I would probably take the Cowboys here.
That's my central point, yeah.
So to counter some of those things, I think that let's start with the offense of the Niners against the Cowboys defense. Jimmy G is known to make mistakes. That's a given. He just has some airheaded moments where he sails the ball 15 yards over the receiver and lands right in the safety's hands.
Or fumbles.
Yeah, he runs into the guy with the ball and it comes out. That was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. But I think he won't have to do too much in this game. Cowboys' like run defense is atrocious. Overall, they rank the Niners. We'll get to the Niners explosive play, but the Cowboys rank 28th in explosive plays given up, 25 in the pass, 25th in the run. Like you said, it's very boomer bust. A lot of that is hidden because Trayvon Diggs and the rest of the team, they get a lot of turnovers, but they give up a ton of explosive plays. So if we do limit those turnovers, it will be huge. Since week 10, the Cowboys rushing defense,
it's a big if.
edges where the Niners like to run, zone reads and whatnot. 72 attempts, 495 yards, 6.9 yards per carry, and 22 runs of 10-plus yards. I think Niners are third in explosive runs, like of like 10 or 15, I think. Dallas defense yards allowed per play, 21. Takeaways is 1, and their DVOA is actually 2, but I think a lot of that is due to the turnovers. So like you guys said, it's going to be coming down probably to Jimmy G being able to hold the ball. And then on the other side of the ball, Niners give up one of the most explosive plays. Actually, no, I think they're actually middle of the pack there, but a lot of it was because they actually have a ton of pass interference penalties, most in the league. And their leading guy, Josh Norman, get him on the bench. He's not even in this game. So that's a huge reason I'm a little more optimistic in our ability to stop that. And then our guys up front, if we can get to the quarterback, that'd be huge. DJ Jones was a monster last week. Eric Armstead in the middle has been much better than on the edge. If they can free up Bosa into some one-on-ones, that'll be huge. If you give Dak time and those receivers, it's impossible to guard that for too long. So it will be on them. But I do think we can get there. We're 48 sacks on the season, tied for 5th in the league. I like our chances. I like us +3. I like us on the money line.
+3 money line, alternate line, Niners.
I think, dude, I don't bet on them often. I don't pick them often. I think out of all the matchups that we could have gotten in the first round, this would be in my top 3 between the Rams, Cardinals, and Cowboys. But I'd probably put them second to the Rams.
Yeah, you make good points, but I think, again, you echoed our concerns, which is Jimmy G makes a few mistakes, Dak makes a few plays, and Cowboys walk away with the
but the thing is, I don't think Jimmy G's going to have to do too much. I think they're going to run the ball extremely well. This Cowboys defense, terrible against the run.
Well, I'm a big Dan Quinn fan, and if he just goes and studies the Seahawks tape versus the Niners, I think they'll have a good time. They might not have the personnel, but maybe they'll be able to implement some of the schemes to do so. Any other comments on this game?
I hope we win so I can rub it in Nate Lord's face.
God, that's why I don't want the Cowboys to win.
I'm just gonna get an earful from Nate and Jeff.
Oh, you're gonna get such an earful because you've been talking so much crap to them.
Dude, I haven't even been saying anything about this game. I've just kind of been echoing your take on Trayvon Diggs.
Also,
not even that he's bad. That just more so that he just gives up the most yards in the league.
Yeah, shout out to the boy
so
Nate.
Overshadowed by his picks.
I also got the receipts.
Because the Cowboys or the quarterbacks like to target Trayvon Diggs because they're not afraid of him because they know they can get big plays.
I also got the receipts. Week 6, Nate said Dallas was going to the NFC Championship, so ideally they don't make it there. So we can post receipts. All right, let's move on to the next game. Kyle's favorite team, second favorite team, Kyle's favorite player in the league. Big Ben and the Steelers go on to Arrowhead and the Chiefs. Chiefs are laying 12.5 at home. Over under 45.5. And I'll just get this started real quick. I don't have any picks on this game. I really, really, really want to take the Chiefs because I think the Steelers are god awful. But I will say the Chiefs team has just been so inconsistent. I know one of the teams they blew out was the Steelers, so that's why I really want to take the Chiefs. But they just have not looked in sync on offense in many games this year. I think the only couple games they have is Raiders ×2, and the Steelers really. They've had too many lapses. Patrick Mahomes has made some questionable decisions even recently. So that's why I'm a little hesitant. But honestly, I don't think this game is even close close. Big Ben is atrocious. Against the Baltimore Backups last week, they barely scored like 13 points, and he was so bad. He was missing like slant routes to Deontay Johnson every freaking play. I was so upset, dude. He was like, oh my God. It was just hard to watch.
He's a winner. Finds a way to win.
And Najee Harris, I mean, he's okay, but their offensive line sucks. Like, Najee Harris can't get more than like 4 yards in any given carry. Unless something happens and he gets lucky. I don't know.
Didn't you have that like big run to win the game the other week?
Yeah, but the Bengals are already out of the playoffs. That game was over. Yeah, I don't got anything though.
Dallon?
Yeah, I'm with Guy on this one. I don't really have a play on this one as well. Just because I do think the Chiefs are very mistaken. They're not looking like the Chiefs of old, man. I really don't think that they make it out of the AFC this year, if I'm being honest. I mean, it's not even a hot take what I'm saying, but they just don't look like the Super Bowl team that's made it back the past 2 years. And I don't know. I hate Big Ben just as much as Akahi does. I think he's a terrible quarterback. He probably should have retired after last season. But, you know, I just really don't want to bet on the Chiefs this game just because they are just pretty poor against the spread against mediocre teams. So I will lay off this game as well. Let's see what Kyle's got for this one.
That's just hilarious. Like, the two biggest haters of Big Ben, so confident in the Chiefs, can't pick the Chiefs to cover.
I mean, I could see this being like 24-13, right? Like, the Chiefs suck on offense, but they still get 24 points, and Big Ben throws up like
Big Ben's the worst quarterback ever, and they still can. Anyways, I'm not even taking them because I actually think they're going to cover. I'm just taking them as a system play. Just as a system play, Wildcard Weekend, taking the dogs. So I do have the Steelers plus 12.5. I'm not in love with the guy. I don't think he's a great quarterback. He's been god-awful. He looks like a limp donkey out there. But, like, it's as long as he's out there, I'm going to give him his flowers. He's a Hall of Fame quarterback. I'm gonna ride. One last ride. Let's go Big Ben. And I would love to see Mahomes just go back to beginning of this year. Actually, his whole career. He tries to force the issue, like, makes these stupid throws. He thinks he's like a magician, and then it just gets picked off. I do like seeing that. But
yeah, I just don't think the Steelers could even capitalize.
Because, you know, as long as he's in the league, I'm gonna cheer for him just because, you know, he had a historical career. One last ride into the sunset. You know, you go out 50-0 here, whatever. That's still a hell of a career. But yeah, plus 12.5 system play.
Well, he should only have one Super Bowl to his name. Unfortunately,
man, I was really praying for that tie, man. Really.
Me too,
really
man.
hoping that they tied, man.
It really killed me that the Chargers blew that and the Raiders.
Much rather see Herbert in the playoffs than this guy. So
I mean, I feel like the Chargers could like upset some teams. It just feels like with the Steelers, it's just hopeless. It just feels like hopeless.
I agree.
Honestly,
Chargers.
Let me just say this one thing.
Team that could have made it between Chargers, Raiders, and Steelers. Raiders and Steelers, not the best combo.
Yeah, and the Chiefs, I feel like they're in a rut, and if anything's going to get them out of this rut, it's going to be like gaining so much confidence against the Steelers being so bad that they're going to end up riding that to the Super Bowl, and that would just kill me because it's all Big Ben's fault. All right, anything else to say on this game?
I think Chiefs win. I think it'll be a good telling sign of their playoff hopes, how well their offense performs here. Defense, unless they're like really bad, I don't think it's going to be too telling of like how they are at this point, just because the Steelers' offense isn't great. But if Mahomes is looking shaky, like downside, it's going to be tough for them to get out of the AFC, let alone the conference championship. Like, so we'll see, or the divisional round, I should say. Yeah.
All right, final game of the slate, Monday night. We get Cardinals at Rams. Rams are laying 4. Over-under set at 48.5. A rematch of, or I guess this is their third game. I believe, did the Rams win both games? Or did they drop the second one?
Oh,
no, the Cardinals. No. The Cardinals won the first one,
Cardinals.
actually.
I think it's 1-1.
I can't even remember.
Yeah, it was 1-1. It was 1-1.
Yeah, so what do you guys think about this?
Because the Cardinals
dominated, right? The first one?
Yeah, I think so.
Kind of.
Yeah, I remember that actually. I was on that. Good pick. Wait,
Who's the
anything,
pick?
Kai? Any pick?
I don't have a pick on this game.
Prediction?
I kind of like the spread exactly where it is, right? Like Rams -4, that feels like a good spread. I think the Rams are the better team right now. The Cardinals are dealing with some injuries on the back end, which is going to hurt them. Their other corner they had playing this last week was not good. And I think Kyler Murray is struggling a little bit. I know Matt Stafford isn't playing perfectly, but I just think this Rams team is going to be able to run, do what they want to do, and then Matt Stafford and Cooper Kupp could hopefully take advantage. It'll be close, but no play. Maybe the over.
System play. I think the Rams are gonna win. I think they're a much better team right now. But system play, Cardinals +4. Dogs in the wild card, especially the away dogs.
What does this do? System play.
It's just a system play, bro. Away dogs in the wild card. If you noticed, I'm on all 6 dogs. System play.
That's actually true. You are.
I do think the Rams are the better team, and I think without D-Hop, the offense is pretty limited.
It has been for sure.
AJ Green has stepped up. Christian Kirk is solid, but D-Hop is just like this automatic go-to guy that you're not going to have on third downs, goal line situations. Kyler's going to be running around trying to make things happen. It's going to be really tough. So I think the Rams win, but got to play the system.
Yep. System play just means what? Dog covers favorite wins. That's the system.
No. Dogs cover in the wild card. That is
dogs cover favorite wins.
Especially away dogs, and every away team is a dog. So it's just dogs are hungry, man.
I mean, I'm on a few dogs.
Dallon, what do you got? Anything?
I'm with Akahi here. I actually don't like this game either. It seems like me and Akahi are agreeing a lot today, which I
don't like picking this game, but it's a system play.
But
that
yeah,
was a system play, bro.
I was kind of looking at the under here, to be honest.
Okay. What is it?
It's at 49.5 right now. So I believe, yeah, it's just stuck around that number. Could certainly see this being a grinded out game, but we'll see. I want to see how the Rams scheme for Kyler Murray, and if that Cardinals team is actually like looking completely healthy, back to their old dominant selves at the beginning of the season.
They're not.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. The under is probably would be my lean for this game, or for this particular game, but I really don't want to make a play on this one either.
Yeah,
I was leaning kind of over just as I was talking through it. Maybe it's just because I don't think the Cardinals defense is in a good spot right now, and I don't think the Rams defense is that scary, but who knows?
Be interesting. All right, let's give Super Bowl predictions. NFC, AFC winner and champion. Who do you guys got?
Interesting.
Okay, well, you go first.
Big Ben winning again. No, I'm just kidding. Give me the Packers and the Bills, and then we have A-Rod taking it home.
Okay.
What do you guys got?
Don, you want me to go?
Yeah, you can go first. I gotta think about this a little bit.
I do kind of want to think about it. Well, here's what I'll say. I'll give you what I want to happen and what I think will actually happen. What I want to see, what I'd be okay with seeing, is a combination of the Packers or the Eagles or the Rams. I'd be okay with the Rams, to be honest.
You just threw in the Eagles?
Well, no, this is what I want. I mean, I don't care if the Eagles make the Super Bowl. It's more just like me, who I would want to see.
Talk about want. No one wants the Eagles in the Super Bowl.
I mean, would you rather see the Cowboys in the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would not rather see the Cowboys, dude. Oh my god, I know.
Not
I just of the Cowboys fans I know, they're also.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't go on Twitter, but like I'd still rather watch them than the Eagles.
Oh, watch them. I'm just thinking like in terms of what teams I like and
I
what.
mean, fair enough. Fair enough. A want's a
Okay,
want.
yeah.
You know.
So that's what I'm
Big
saying.
Ben.
It
Want's a
would go
want.
in like this order. It would go. I would take the Rams, from the NFC. I would take the Eagles and then the Packers third. I don't like the Packers very much, but that's my order. And then from the AFC, I would want to see all the dogs basically. Bengals. Give me Rams, Bengals, Super Bowl. That's what I'd love
That'd be
to see.
sick.
That's
That's
what I'd
your
love to
prediction?
see.
That'd be sick. No,
That's
what's
like
your
No, that's
prediction?
what I would want.
That's his want. That's his
That's
want.
what I would want
Ah.
to see. Rams, Bengals. That'd be super intriguing and hilarious. What
What's
I think
your
will
legitimate
happen.
prediction?
Yeah, my legitimate prediction here. It's not really a great prediction, but I'm gonna go with Packers, Titans. I just think that bye is gonna be huge for both of those teams. Titans are getting healthy.
Wow, taking the chalk. Interesting.
I know.
who's gonna
I
win?
really don't like. I don't like being so basic in my picks, but I just feel like both those teams have a good chance. I mean, probably realistically, I'd pick the Chiefs if I were to bet on it. But Packers, Titans, and then I think the Packers are going to win. Unfortunately, I do not
don't
like the
think
Packers.
I don't think many people are taking the Titans. I was about to say, are they like one of the worst one seeds in recent history?
Oh, they totally are. It's just that bye for
Besides
me makes a
the
huge
Ravens.
difference. That bye for I think a lot
It
of their
does
like.
make a big difference. Home field makes a big difference. I just don't think they're a solid team.
I just think a lot of their like season stats and why they're probably on paper one of the worst teams, or like throughout the year stats will say they're not as good. It's just because they've been so injured, they've dealt through so many injuries, and now they're finally getting better, healthier. I think they could actually have like a functioning offense now. Yeah, so I think they're coming in to be a little healthier, and they only need to win 2 games. So
Interesting. All right.
that's my
Dallon, what do you
prediction.
got? Who do
I
you
mean,
think?
That's an interesting prediction. I like the Titans as well.
Wow.
As no.
Talk about
This,
interesting.
no. This is just a little segue to what I'm actually going.
Okay. Okay.
I do
sorry.
like the Texans, the 1 seed, the little chalk
Texans.
there. I mean, sorry, the Titans. Holy shit.
I also like
Yeah.
Vrabel. I want to see that
I
guy
like
win.
the Texans too.
Yeah. Dude, I love Mike Vrabel. I
Yeah,
will
he's a
cheer
beast.
for him.
There's no
What?
one I don't like on the Titans.
I love Akahi's little spiel about Josh Allen earlier in the show because I'm taking the Buffalo Bills to make it to the Super Bowl.
Let's
Big
go.
Josh Allen fan here.
If they were
And-
first seed, maybe they could. No
Is that your
shot.
prediction or your want?
No, that is my prediction. I'm going to take the
Okay.
Bills,
Bills.
winning the FC.
Who's winning the NFC?
See, the thing is, I was thinking about the Packers as well, like you, Kyle, but to
And Akahi.
line up with you, oh, and Akahi as well, yeah, in your prediction is a little bit too chalky for me. So I'm
Packers,
looking.
Titans, or Packers, Bills, or just Packers?
I'm
You just
actually
don't
going
like
to
taking
take.
any one seed.
No. I'm actually going to take the Dallas Cowboys here as my Super Bowl pick from the NFC because
They just got to
Why
get
not?
hot, but they've been inconsistent. That's the only thing.
super inconsistent. Finished the year pretty strong though, so they're coming in with a little bit more momentum. I'm going to take the Cowboys and the Bills, and then I will take the Bills to win the Super Bowl this year in 2022. That's going to be my pick.
Nice. In terms of wants, I would love to see the Bills in the Super Bowl. Josh Allen. I'd love to see the Bengals, Joe Burrow. That'd be sick. I think from the AFC, that's the 2 teams I would like to see. Obviously, 49ers. But if it wasn't the Niners, I don't know. I guess I wouldn't have a preference. I guess my ultimate want would be Niners beating the Chiefs just because we lost to them. But Julian Edelman said the best teams in his opinion, teams that can run the ball, stop the run, and have good special teams.
That's literally the
Niners
Seahawks this year, dude. Oh my god.
The Niners, one of the best running teams, first in rush defense since week 6. They're by.
But their special teams is garbage.
God awful, but it's actually picked up some luck lately. So if we ride that luck into this playoffs, we will have hope. But our special
Right.
teams are so abysmal.
I have one more question. It looks like we have about 6 minutes left here. So What are your guys' NBA Finals picks coming up on the All-Star break? Pretty
Woohoo!
soon.
Warriors plus 750. Got them.
Ooh, the Warriors have been slipping.
Let's
I think it's
go.
about time for them to
best
talk
team
about
gets
like.
better.
Well,
The
they're not
best
okay.
team
Well,
gets
technically,
better.
they're not the best team. So can we just quantify it as it is? They're not the best team. They don't have the
Well,
best
when
record.
they got Clay, they were the best team. So the
They
best
don't have the
team
best
gets
record, so
better.
they're not the best team.
When they got Clay, they had the best record. Best team.
I only asked this because this is I already have my pick locked in. Do you guys want to think about it for a bit while I?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
I kind of have my idea, but yeah. Actually,
Alright.
let me guess your
Kyle,
pick.
go.
All right, yeah. Guess my pick. You guys should
I'm gonna
both guess.
say you
Yeah, I'll
got.
guess too. Is this like your bet or is your want? Like this is what you would.
No,
you would
this
put money on
is
this?
what I think. This is what I
Okay.
think is good. I'm not going to bet on it, but
Okay.
I think Dallon thinks the Warriors are gonna play. Ooh, I think Dallon thinks they're gonna play the Bucks.
all right, Akahi, what do you think?
Dallin likes to take a little bit. He's a little edgy, but he's also pragmatic. So
He's talked so much about the Warriors.
yeah, I
hyping me.
really think he wants to pick the Warriors, but I think that's a little too chalky, as he says. So I'm gonna go
Warriors
with
Bucks is very chalky.
The Grizzlies versus.
Dude, this is Dallon's prediction, not.
Okay,
not some
fine.
made-up
Honestly,
fantasy.
I really just because I want to be right, I'll say the Warriors. I don't think that's the right pick, but I'll say the Warriors because I think Dallin thinks the Warriors are gonna make it. I think the Warriors and what'd you say, Kyle? The Bucks, or is that what you said?
Yeah.
The Bucks. Yeah, I think the Bucks. I would go. I think I would say the Nets. Warriors, Nets.
All
And
right,
who do you
what
guys?
got
Who
down?
do you, what are your guys' finals picks? Like, who do you guys think is going to win for those? If I were to pick those,
Oh, I would
Dallon's
say
gonna
the
pick-
Nets. And the Nets
Okay.
Warriors
The
series, I would say
Bucks.
the Nets.
okay.
Bucks over
Well,
Warriors.
you guys are super far off, I guess. I'm going to take the Jazz and the Heat in the finals this year. Pretty interesting set of picks there.
So Grizzlies,
Um,
you're very edgy right now, Dallin.
Well, I mean, the Jazz.
Grizzlies was a closer pick, I will say.
No,
I mean,
I would say the Jazz have much better odds right now to make the finals.
Do they? I wonder.
They're plus 400 right now. Grizzlies are plus 1600 looking at it. I like the Jazz this year. I think they get out of their little playoff rut. They're deep enough. They have the talent, and they play together. This core has been together for a long-ass time. I don't think Rudy Gobert is a very good center, but he does the job. And I just don't think the Warriors are deep enough. You know, their bench play is pretty Jordan.
Deepest we've been since before KD.
I know, but you guys don't have KD anymore. That's my entire point.
No, I'm saying we weren't deep with KD. I'm saying before that, 2015.
They were pretty deep.
Yeah, but I mean, you
We were
guys
not
have more
deep with
talent
KD.
than you guys had
No,
now on
before
the
that.
bench.
Played
feel
6
like-
guys.
And then the Heat, I just think that they're a complete basketball team. I don't think the Bucks make it back there a second time. They've been looking pretty shaky. I don't know. I like the Heat, Jazz, and I'm going to take
Heat.
the Miami
Really?
Heat to win the NBA Finals this year.
No
Wow.
shot.
Spicy
Did you like
pick.
bet on them and they
No,
lost
no.
to the Lakers that one year, or like what? How does
No,
that?
no.
work?
I just legitimately think the Heat are a complete basketball team.
I
They
think
have the
Akali's
talent.
with me on this when I say
They're super
Rudy
deep as well.
Gobert is the biggest playoff liability you can have. I think we've talked about this.
I think he's a
He's
great.
such a
I
good
actually
regular
think he's
season player.
underrated at this point. But yeah, in the playoffs, I mean, we've seen him get exposed. But not every team can take advantage of that. I'll say. Definitely not
It's
every
just
team can take.
very
advantage
hard
of that.
to have him out there with a small ball lineup. Like, you can post him up and he'll go for 20 and 15, and it won't matter.
I do kind of like the Jazz because their offense. It's been their offense this year that's been dominant for them. Their defense has
Offense has
been
been
kind of
dominant.
middle of the pack, but their offense. Well, I think they have like one of the highest ratings.
They're a
right,
very
right now.
efficient team the past like 3 years.
But I mean, comparatively, it's usually been their defense who's been number one, and they haven't been great.
I mean, they've been like one of the best 3-point shooting teams too. That's why.
They don't really have that stretch.
And I
forward
don't
that
hate
I'm
it
looking
because
for, so.
I don't really think the Suns or the Warriors are like unbeatable at all. So I think the Jazz beating either of those two teams in a Western Conference Finals would not be unheard of at all. because I just think
All right,
both
quick.
those teams are flawed. So yeah, I'll drop my predictions.
Yeah.
If Kawhi and PG are healthy, I gotta say the LA Clippers. I think
What a prediction.
low key, I think they could have the good. Okay, LA Clippers versus the Brooklyn Nets. Go, Kyle.
Okay, Yosh, yours. Real quick.
Warriors over the Nets.
All right, so you guys are both showing bias here. I like it. Akai, sign us off.
All right,
Shoots.
see you guys. BDLD. Hey, check in next week. Let's go.